Hi there. Morning. Spectacular morning that it is. So happy to be here. Um, Wanted to talk a little bit about allowing ourselves to be vulnerable. So many times we're talking about putting protection up and all of this and really making sure that, with everything going on, we're cleansing our field, our aura, putting protection up, and yet this is a time when we're still supposed to connect with people and allow people or allow each other to be vulnerable when it's time to be vulnerable. And so that to me is very important. And knowing that we can put up the shield when we need the shield, we can let it down when we can let it down. But that this is a time when you know pretty much who you can be vulnerable with and who you can't. Just follow your heart. You'll feel it. I always joke that I have issues with boundaries, which I do, but allowing yourselves to just be in this place where you can trust your heart. If you're going out to some event and you don't know who's going to be there and whatever, it's like shields up, like Wonder Woman or all of those, or a superhero, right? But when we're around people we love or people that we're familiar with, allowing ourselves to be vulnerable, to feel the love and to be the love, because it's really hard when we try to keep everything inside and not allow ourselves to be vulnerable. Excuse me, I have a distraction over here. I saw somebody just come in, and I think it's somebody, I don't have a clue who, but it feels more like somebody's loved one and not a being in the way that I channel beings. But well, welcome anyways, even though we are not sure who you are. He's not talking, he's just being here. So, which this place is something else because I do my work here. There's always spirits coming and going, the doorbell ringing in the middle of the night. And instead of, remember that old movie, oh, an angel got its wings. I feel like, oh, somebody just crossed over and they're going through the tunnel to get to where they need to be. But real important to allow our vulnerabilities to shine. Last week, I talked about how vulnerable I was seeing Bodhi put down, and I allowed my vulnerabilities to shine big time. I allowed myself to be open and all of that. And then also knowing when to put your shields up. I like this because that's what it reminds me of. I actually do the shields up. And telling your team, your spirit guides, your angels, your master teachers, that here I am and it's important that I need protection while I'm on earth. But I also know who I can be vulnerable with and how important it is to be, because it's through vulnerability that we get to know ourselves. Ben is trying to come to me, but the table's in the way and so is the light, and he's trying to figure out how he's going to get. Ben, take a risk. Jump over it. You're the best jumper I know. He's just looking at me like, Ma. Anyways, so we allow ourselves to feel what we want to feel, not feel what we don't want to feel. We have our tools around us, our crystals, our bracelets, or different things that we wear to keep energy away from us, and that's really positive. So just wanted to speak a little to that, knowing when we need that and when we don't. Jumping right in to this last week, Metatron. All right, Metatron, what do you want to tell the group for this week? Up and coming. Ooh, I like this. Action, movement needed. But she's at the beach. Yes, we're getting closer. She's at the beach. So to me, This is a reminder of getting outside. She's running on the beach. For you lovely people in the warm weather year-round, God bless you that you can do this all the time. But here it's action needed. Get out and move. I feel like a lot of times this is literally about, you want movement in your life? Move. Either clean something out or make movements yourself, and this will allow you to move forward. All right, let's see what's up with this. Nine is supported by the energy of Mars, planet of action and dynamic movement, because there's a 9 on the card numerology-wise. Successful completion of anything worthwhile belies the fact that much work, effort, triumph, and setback has likely gone into its making. Whatever you are asked to do, be, or try at this time needs to start not just with a thought, but with an action. Action, however small, needs to follow thought. It's the law of the universe and the way anything is created. So often you stall, waiting for the perfect condition to begin, and yet, why wait? Tomorrow may never come. You only have today to live, so be in the now. Don't pull off any longer that which you need to do. Any step towards the good you seek at this time is correct. There are no wrong paths to take. Any mistake to be made is part of the learning process, and every achievement is acquired to spur you on. To succeed is also to fail. A baby has to fall many times before it learns to walk, and so too must you. Be prepared for a path that may not always be smooth, but always has an assured positive outcome, as long as commitment and dedication is observed. A runner running a race has put in many hours of training, focus, and life experience. It says, it all started with one step forward and kept on going. Be not afraid of setting your goals high, of dreaming big, and of striving to be the best you can be. Shift your stance and your mental attitude and your physical body into new experiences, new territory to meet the people you are meant to meet, the situations you are here to encounter, and the support that undoubtedly will follow. You may have drawn this card because you are feeling stagnant, blocked, or unsure. If so, the guidance is to move. Keep your eyes set firmly on the horizon. Keep a clear head and a cool mind. Feel the surge of energy as you create that movement and action around you. Others respond to a proactive energy of positivity and flow forward as well. Metatron will sometimes push you, sometimes encourage you, and at other times will stand back to see if you can keep going under your own steam, but he will never abandon you. To be alive means to be fully healthy. Seek fresh air, sunlight, and a body that serves you well. Feel Metatron close to you. Visualize and imagine and feel his light alongside you, helping you strive for more, to be in the best shape, and to achieve all that you've come here to do. But it starts with movement and steps away from comfort zones in uncharted areas. Move, walk, run, write, play, create, live. It is what you're here for, and do it today. Totally makes sense. All right, from the Star Temple. The Star Daughters. I love how we have all these butterflies and all these young goddesses. Dance. I dance, sing, and play with my sisters at sunset. Aren't we getting brought out dancing? You know, it's like, okay, we're taking movement, we're dancing, we're taking action. And, you know, so many times people say to me with coaching, you know, that, well, I wrote it out, I read my vision. If you don't take action, you're not going to get anywhere. You can't just dream about it and expect your soulmate to pop it at the front door. Ain't happening. All right. Star words, like-hearted, soul tribe, celebration. The star daughters are heightening you to have some playful fun, to connect and collaborate with friends that are on the same wavelength as you. Your vibe attracts your tribe. Ooh, I love that. So vibe high, dear heart. Laughing, chatting, and co-creating magic together is intoxicating. Alchemy, attuned connection, amplifies and magnifies magical synergy. Cohesive, devotion to unity, oneness, and equality is powerful. When we come together, miracles happen. Be with people who celebrate each other's achievements and raise your sisters up high. Love that. Sounds like we're going to have a powerful week. Whoops. Oracle of the Seven. How did this happen? We had a calamity here. Maybe I'll do some of that in the future. Mix decks and pull a little from, to do a read with all the ones from different decks. It's for this up and coming week for people. Spirit of Gratitude. We've gotten this before from this deck. Teacup with a beautiful flower and bloom over it. So yeah, gratitude is important. It's almost like all the steps to create. First one this week is take action. Second one is to do something that brings you joy and celebrate. Third one is to do gratitude steps. Love this. The preparing, sorry, wrong. These words are like this big. I should turn a light on in here. The prosperity power of prayer, communion with the divine, expressing deep gratitude as you move through the world, knowing that your prayers will be answered exactly as they are meant to be. In prayer, we connect directly to the higher power. It's a way for us to be in communion with the divine. A reminder that our lives are a sacred conversation we are continuously engaged in. Prayer lets us know we are not alone. A power greater than us acts on our behalf and is activated through us, sufficing our hearts and minds with a faith that is life-affirming, loving, and compassionate. When we pray, we acknowledge that we are only part of the equation of life, that a spiritual aspect is always in operation. We engage in humility, knowing we are in a co-creative partnership and have so much to be grateful for. Expressing gratitude and asking to be of service is the most powerful, prospering prayer of all. When you focus your attention on appreciation for even the smallest aspect of your life and what you have already experienced, it's like waving a magic wand. Everything you need comes to you without effort. Obstacles fall away, your purpose becomes even clearer. The kind of prayer that will prosper you and others today is one of deep, abiding gratitude. You become a magnet for miracles when you are grateful and asked to be a channel for divine purpose, divine abundance, love, and compassion. The power of Source is within you. Now is the time to awaken it. Love that. All righty. The next one is the Divine Feminine. These are many, many goddesses by Megan Watterson that you've never even heard of, I'm sure, because there's some I've never heard of. So who's coming up for the group? Oh no, we got one I know. Mother Mary, Mary of Nazareth, the Mother of God. I am blessed. My courage gives birth to the divine. How beautiful is this? Look at that. Pure light, pure love, purity itself. So let's find her. Of course. She's second in the book. First one's Mary Magdalene and then Mary of Nazareth. When your soul selects her card, I've always imagined that Mary was terrified to hear an angel loudly announcing that she was meant to be the mother of God. Her surrender to Gabriel's words feels so courageous and too acknowledged. Mary has no idea what she will have to meet with, what will be asked of her, or what this love for her son will put her through. But she says, yet nonetheless, she says yes, nonetheless, so that she can be in service of the divine. Mary's acceptance of her role has been in the shadow of the Christian story, uncelebrated because she is seen as so divine. But she was human too. She could have said no. Her courage could have faltered, but she aligned with the light. She heard the words, "Be not afraid," and allowed the divine story to work through her life. And she let joy dictate her response. Mary leads us to trust that we can say yes to what feels right. It doesn't have to make sense or work with the timeline the ego has mapped out for us. In the midst of our ordinary, everyday lives, we can say yes to the angel who greets us in the space of the heart space, and let the energy of joy give birth to the divine through us. I love that. Am I in service to the light within me? Wow, that's a big one. Yet to us, maybe the things we're saying yes to are so big. When you have to do public speaking, or you're on a stage, or you're doing something you never did before, that's pretty big for us, right? But I love this, saying yes to it and yet feeling your humanness. Really, really special here. Last one, the rose. Brothers of the rose. We got daughters over here, now we got brothers. Sacred masculine, honor, protection, and support. Beautiful artistry on these. All of them, they're so different. Oh, my least favorite to read because the pages are done in pink and they're hard to read, pastels. This is a card of the sacred masculine. Like the feminine, the sacred masculine exists within each one of us, and together we're all being called to balance both energies within us. The sun and the moon, solar and lunar, perhaps this is what it means to birth a new world. The sacred mature masculine is something so needed in our world. It's part of us that lives in deep honor and reverence of the feminine. It recognized the goddess within all of life, including the earth, and a commitment to protect every living thing, and the divine feminine. The sacred masculine knows that striving and overpowering, endearing and conquering are not helpful. That's the old ways of the male, right? No, the sacred masculine is strong and tender, protective, but not defensive. This card could be a sign that you're being called to work on the sacred masculine energy within you that's maturing and rising. It could be that you're being called to work on ancestral healing of the paternal line. It could be an indication that you're being called to invoke or acknowledge the sacred masculine in those around you. Or it could represent the sacred masculine appearing in your life. The sacred masculine exists within all of us. They are encircling you so that you can do your sacred work, so that you can be part of the return of the goddess on this earth. The rose is their emblem, and they wear it proudly on their hearts. Soul inquiry. How are you being called to work with the sacred masculine? You know, I think of that a lot because people always see, oh, the goddess, the divine feminine. True, but we also need the divine masculine. So many people are waking up to the divine masculine and having the balance of the male and female within. And knowing that the right side on everybody is our male side, the left side is our female side. So when you have problems on one side or the other, perhaps it's some male you're having an issue with, or your own male side, or some female issue. So, everybody wants to work with, I see so many people, women, wanting to work with only women. And I'm like, who's going to help the men that are trying to learn down here? I volunteer for that because men have a very different frequency, and I would love to help them develop more of their feminine natures. So maybe that's a class for the future. But this week, take your actions, celebrate something in your life, do your gratitude, and only say yes to what you're ready to say yes to. And then be aware of the males in your life and your own male side this week. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.